Well, happy Friday, everyone. It's Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm as we get set to head into the midday and the afternoon on this Friday. We've got some sunshine. It's pretty cold, though. We had temperatures in the teens at the start of the day today. We're struggling through the 20s at midday. We'll only make it up to about 30 or so before the day is through. But radar is clear. Locally, as we head through our Friday, all of this snow across Michigan is going to miss us to the north. So we're in fine shape as far as any snow goes. None coming after a few slick spots developed last night with those snow showers that moved through between 10 p.m. and about 2 or 3 in the morning. Taking a look at a computer model here, the high-resolution North American model showing that snow pushing through Michigan and then heading through parts of Quebec and Ontario, upstate New York as well. So this is a miss for us off to the north. And this model has absolutely nothing for us across the Mahoning and Ohio valleys until we get to very late Saturday night and Sunday morning as an Arctic cold front arrives. Not a lot showing up on this model, but I suspect there will be some snow showers around and maybe even a blinding snow squall as this leading edge of the colder air arrives Sunday morning. Here's a look at our satellite picture. I'll put this in motion. It shows the clouds that we had yesterday into last night dissipating across northeast Ohio, and we're left with some sun. And it'll be kind of a mixed bag of clouds and sun this afternoon. Some of these high clouds out to our west will filter in. Overall, though, good-looking day. We just need the winter jacket for today. Midday temperatures, again, struggling a bit. These are the estimated readings across the Mid-Atlantic region. You have to head pretty much east of the Appalachian Mountains and especially south of Washington, D.C. before you find anywhere above freezing. Out in the highest terrain of West Virginia and into Pennsylvania, it's well down into the teens still at the midday hours, while in most of Ohio, we are in the lower and middle 20s with some sun. Here's a look at the 24-hour temperature change across the U.S. The blues indicative of colder temperatures compared to this time yesterday. It's as much as 35 degrees colder than 24 hours ago in parts of New England. But notice off to our west, a lot of red and orange colors showing up here indicative of warmer temperatures compared to this time yesterday. And that warmer air is spreading east. It's coming our way for the start of the weekend. Here's a look at some computer models. I'll start with this morning and kind of fast forward through today. Now, tomorrow is going to turn out to be a windy day. We've got this area of low pressure out across the Midwest, and I'm going to try to draw on this. Got low pressure here, cold front going like this, and ahead of that front, a warm westerly wind developing for tomorrow. And so I think we'll get into the 40s tomorrow, and the wind could gust up to 35 miles per hour or so as we start the weekend. So a good day to try to get outside if you don't mind the wind. In fact, I think it stays pretty windy all the way through Saturday night and Sunday. Notice how tightly packed the isobars are, the lines of equal pressure. Anytime these isobars are kind of close together, that means it's at least breezy, if not windy. And this map is Saturday night, so it's going to be kind of a blustery Saturday night. And so the cold air arrives Sunday, and it will be accompanied by winds Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Notice what's going on here. All of this green around the Great Lakes is snow shower activity. This is very, very cold air blowing over the relatively and still unfrozen largely Great Lakes. We've got some pockets of ice across western parts of Lake Erie, but for the most part, Lake Erie is wide open, no ice. And so with all this cold air blowing across, I think we'll see significant snow accumulations in the snow belts next week. Lake County, Geauga County, Ashtabula County, perhaps eastern Cuyahoga County, but down into Mahoning County, probably not a lot of accumulating snow next week. Maybe we get a dusting or an inch on one or two occasions, but that should about do it. It's pretty much northern Trumbull County on north that will see the accumulating snow. Finally, the snow showers will stop by Wednesday night and Thursday of next week as the coldest of the air moves off to the east. Here's a look at the European computer model, one of our more accurate long-range models, and the top chart here shows temperatures all the way out through the 27th of the month. The date may be a little hard to see, but it's right down through here, these numbers here. The 22nd and 23rd and 24th of the month, that's when temperatures bottom out. That's the middle of next week. Couple of days with highs mostly in the teens, overnight lows perhaps down in the single digits across the area. And then notice what happens after that. We get a nice spike at the end of next week and into next weekend. Now we're not talking about a heat wave here, but temperatures should get above freezing for a day or two late next week. So we'll try to thaw things out after that deep freeze for midweek. This will be some of the coldest weather we've had in about 2 years across the Mahoning Valley. Let's take a look at a map showing temperature anomalies, the difference in the actual temperature compared to where we should be in mid-January. The oranges and browns indicative of warmer than average readings. This is Saturday afternoon. Notice how much warmer it is than Typical January temperatures across much of the Midwest and the Ohio Valley Saturday afternoon. Some places across Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, as much as 30 degrees or so above average. But then the party ends. Let's fast forward into Sunday and Monday. Here comes the bitter Arctic cold. Tuesday morning, there could be some places across Minnesota that are as much as 30 degrees or so below the average. Remember, they were 30 degrees above average Saturday. By Tuesday, it's about 60 degrees colder in the Midwest. You'll notice something else here, and I talked about this yesterday. The Great Lakes have a modifying effect on cold air, especially since they're not frozen yet. Notice that the absolute coldest of the year next week will be west of the Great Lakes and also east of the Great Lakes across Canada. Downwind of the Great Lakes, in Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, it's going to be cold, yes, but not as cold as it could be if not for the lakes. The colder than average temperatures are around all the way through Thursday morning of next week, and just like that last chart I showed you, the warmth will return, maybe for a brief time late next week. A little ray of sunshine for you here today as we talk about cold. Well, the days are getting longer by about a minute and a half to a minute 45 seconds each day. Each day over the next 7 days, we'll pick up about a minute 40, even a minute 50 worth of daylight. The sunrise is getting down to about 7:40 by next week. The sun sets 5:30, so it's getting to be noticeable at the end of the day. The sun is setting a little bit later, so a little optimism for you as we get set to head into the deep freeze next week. Join me tonight on 21 News at 6 and 11. Much more in the way of detail on the cold and the possibility of a little bit of snow. Have a great weekend.